Alright, a very good evening to you watching West Nile Television. You're most welcome to the Nile Cast, the Tuesday edition with me, Farish Majid. And this is still the love month. And I must say, today is the 13th and tomorrow will be the 14th, where people will be able to celebrate that Valentine's Day. And you're most welcome from wherever you are to the Nile Cast News Bulletin with me. But first, let's have the look at what is making it down the headlines. In the headlines tonight, Uganda Revenue Authority engages various stakeholders in West Nile following the recent atrocities in the region. Parents urged to take responsibility of nurturing their children into better citizens. And fishermen petition Speaker of Parliament over FPU operations on Albert Nile. For this and more, in the Nile Cast News Bulletin. Welcome back, and now to begin off with the news bulletin. Fishermen and fishmongers in Pakwach district are surrounded with their business on Lake Albert and Albert Nile, as operations mounted by fisheries protection units have taken another angle. The fishermen demand for removal of fisheries protection unit on Lake Albert as their operations are becoming unbearable, as the manner in which their boats, fishing gear and recommended fish are being impounded by the officials on the waters. Alfred Jawok has more details on the story.
Following the recent incident where trucks carrying fish from South Sudan coming to Uganda were intercepted at Pakwach police station, raising concerns among the traders despite paying 12 million shillings to Uganda Revenue Authority for clearance. The fishermen demand for removal of fisheries protection unit on Lake Albert and Albert Nile as the operations are becoming unbearable. According to the document sent by our reporter, the fishermen cry foul at the manner in which their boats and fishing gears and even recommended fish are being impounded by the officers on the waters. Emmanuel Rotumeo, the chairperson Pakwach District Boats Owners Association, more than 3,000 boats and fishing gears have been impounded and burnt by Fisheries Protection Unit in the recent operations. He wants the district leaders to petition the office of the Speaker of Parliament and halt the operations.
After 2-3 weeks, they are again coming back to come and pick our boats. You see what kind of initiatives or directives are we giving, are we showing our people? So we call upon you, the government, if you cannot help us, this is high time. Our people are tired. I'm representing the people of Junam and I'm representing the people of Greater Nebi. I'm conveying that message and I'm standing in as a voice for the voiceless. And so I'm conveying their voices that they are tired. They are tired. A lot has been happening. They have been keeping quiet. They are deceiving them. But this time round, enough is enough.
Paul Kinobe, chairperson Panyimur Business Community, revealed that fishermen are in dilemma to pay school fees for their children since their sources of income are being affected. Kinobe appeals to government to also restrict the manufacturers of fishing gears so that fishermen can use the recommended fishing gears.
What you could I my operation will be Winam. Dano Gitemoka Loco Voy and give Voine Lembenero Mungo, Tika Makodano di Winam, Tika Wang Voy Padano, Reshmi Voy Matindo, Reshne Vijay. Ma wan chalo wadano mo dwaro nam pien anda dwaro nam mira chiel peko motinia jamed gini kukume uweko nyitirej matindo bi wuok I dwar marash mi muziri ma jopeo nyitirej matindo chama podi gidongo ngo yung meja kigam gi yiyo ilu gibe mako dano mu luodo resh manya berber resh ma dano mu dwar ma show yung gimbe ko kare minwango rej matindo piendo la jowo rej matindo ja yung dano mi to nam gi jalo wano joro dwar nam na wacho niya gitem ko regulating ma show dwar mi muziri cha odo affecting a techa nyiti rej matindo cha le menero bongo yung gawuni dwar ma jowo dwaro dano benwango rej ngo renango gamenti umiyo kare niya dano ilo voy madongo madano de loko dano ginwango rechungu omiyo kare ni dano gichako ni dwar uni masedi gamu bino mapol mako dano mako yei mako mutukari madano be yuak matung ile be mapol kabisa sana one shalo dano de evoteko mwa an shalo entrepreneur chairman by NRM de teko mo tu mo ngi ngo police mu bini wango ne obiti mo ni ni chwi madano gitie kudo idunam tile di mako gamendi getim assessment pare kono survey ke ginwango yuak pa dano ni gi madano mangai wajinia nangu ching mira chel kokoro kala ngoni jo bino wango foi migi mako nangu jo kel pin moko jo substitute kono chale karamoja jo miyo bati jo miyo ngo dano chakirwa ka tu uma ere foi migi marache bedo pin marache manango mako gamendi tingu gamo par pige migi pin moko maber.
Fred Bijik, Chairman Beach Management Committee, Kumaler Learning Site in Mubogu Village, Pakwachan Council, confirmed that all boats at this landing site were burnt and some of the fishermen were arrested. Bijik expressed worry that if the operations continue, people of Junam will suffer periodically as their main economic activities have been affected.
Ma donam mo ge wangu ye manga goya ngenya voy amaka wo voy ma dongo ma shiko meto wengi mako gutega balo ma watego pego ma dit ma inungu ne awia mo mako doge kwan weng do somo pe dong wa par ne gamente po meto pe awia mo kwani ini pego mo tiga nungu ma dit akesha ma teach operation minda shell kende operation cha mo ke mongi cha operation cha ko gweno du mo su bunu yom dengo wa de wor inarono do operation cha mo ke etemo cha me go gweno ko we kare ni gano be inde shengo de wor cheke cha man ko kej matie dano tiga no pego matit ma pul ba dano mange tiga to mo ju mange PIP geto
It is a law by Parliament that fishermen should have recommended size of boats by 5 to 6 meters and 4-inch of fishing nets to protect premature fish. Efforts to get comments from Commander Fisheries Protection Unit was futile at the time of filing this story, as our repeated calls did not materialize. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Welcome back and moving on with the news bulletin. Following the recent spate of killings by the Uganda Post Defense Forces attached to URA in West Nile Sub-region, the leaders of the West Nile Sub-region have constantly been demanding on answers as to why their people must be killed by the officers. And to answer this call, a team from Uganda Revenue Authority yesterday and today is undertaking a region-wide tour to ascertain the causes of the conflicts between the taxpayers and the tax body. Take a look at the story.
Following the recent killings of the citizens in Madi, Okolo and Koboko district, Uganda Revenue Authority has responded to the constant demands by the leaders of Western region on why their people continued to be killed by the errant UPDF officer attached to Uganda Revenue Authority during enforcement. During the meeting organized by the tax body in Arua City yesterday, the stakeholders raised a number of challenges causing the far-fetched relationship between the taxpayers and the body. John Amos Nguzi, the Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority, who also condemns the recent atrocities by the officers, asked for support from various stakeholders to work together in ending what has been causing conflicts between the citizens and the tax enforcement team.
We need the support of the local members, the local leaders on ground. We need the support of the area members of parliament. We need the support of the security organs, the RDCs. Let's speak one voice, condemning these three acts which we have agreed on as unacceptable. Condemning smuggling, condemning violence, condemning innocent shedding of blood, and emphasizing the importance of tax.
Musunguzi also says to avoid similar occurrences of the regrettable incidences in future, the tax body has already developed new strategies.
We are going to have intelligence-led operations. We are going to try and minimize pursuing small people and try and intercept these things from as far as we can. The borders are porous. We know the challenge is there. But once we use intelligence, we coordinate this properly with the army, with intelligence, with URA teams, I think we'll be able to do a great job led by intelligence. So that is one of the areas we've agreed to help us.
Henry Musa Sisi, the State Minister for Finance, Economic Planning and Monitoring in charge of general duties, expressed sympathies to the families who lost their loved ones in the hands of the errant Uganda People's Defence Force personnel attached to Uganda Revenue Authority pursuing tax defaulters. Musa Sisi went ahead to call for cooperation among the various stakeholders in fighting smuggling, which has devastating impacts on the economy.
I want to also express our sincere sympathies for the people who died in this process and those who have died before. Smuggling and anti-money laundering are the cancers of any economy. Anything that illegally comes in, whether a good, whether money or anything, can kill the economy. Therefore, we must work together and fight smuggling.
Uganda Revenue Authority, as a strategy of giving back to the public, is issuing out motorcycle number plates at half price to the people of Western Region for the next 6 months, among other strategies. Peace Ushaki, Farish Majid, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Welcome back, and moving on this time around to Moyo District. The parents in the district of Moyo have been urged to take responsibility and ensure parental care for their children as to nurture them into better citizens, and this urge was made by Mr. Gore Goffin, the resident district commissioner Moyo District, during the awarding of pupils who got first grade in last year's primary leaving examinations at the People's Hall. Okumu Dominic has more details of the story.
The awarding ceremony brought together all the 45 pupils who got grade 1 in last year's primary leaving examination in the district, together with their parents and different education stakeholders who joined to congratulate them upon their success. Mr. Gore Goffin, the resident district commissioner Moyo, urged the parents to take up their responsibility and ensure parental care to their children instead of leaving them to the government, adding that this tendency of parents complaining that their children have become disrespectful and uncontrollable is not true, saying they are just kids, though they tend to become unruly at some stage, but that doesn't mean they are uncontrollable. He therefore urged the parents to nurture their children so as to become better citizens in future.
So, parents, take responsibility. Don't leave your children to government. At least you try your best. When they grow up, they don't follow you, at least you have done your part. But you cannot fail to take care of your children. They cannot listen to you. How? They will listen to you. They are very young, develop them. So this responsibility is very, very important. It is parental responsibility. The Bible says, train up a child. When the child grows up, the child will never depart from that way. What way are you showing your children? So this excuse of these days the children have defeated us, yours have defeated you, mine have not defeated me. Don't put all of us in your soup. I refuse. Me, I refuse. Even if they make mistakes, it doesn't mean they don't make mistakes. They always make mistakes. When they're in adolescence, they are problematic. That is true. Dealing with it, it is a stage. They will pass. So don't give up.
Honorable Aleruto Maza, the Member of Parliament for West Moyo County, said the reason why all the different stakeholders gathered is to award the best performed pupils in last year's primary leaving examinations so as to appreciate them and motivate the current set of pupils in primary 7 and 6 to work hard so as to improve on their performance.
Today we have gathered here to give awards to our excelling pupils. Why do so? What's the reason? It is to give impetus. It is to give the desire, the zeal. It is to motivate and to encourage them to continue with their education. And also, it is to encourage those who are now in P6 and P7 to work harder and double their efforts so that they can be able to get mattresses next time. Nelson Mandela one time said that, and I quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which can be used to change the world." Education is the most powerful weapon which can be used to change the world, and that was why he used education for liberating South Africa.
Senior Superintendent of Police Kaija Stephen, the regional police commander for Northwest Nile region, said whenever he looks at the kids, they always remind him of his childhood life with no hope, but he is grateful that he has made it in life, though not enough yet. He therefore urged the pupils not to get too excited with the little they have achieved, but rather strive for more.
It's very simple. We may not do much with the older youth, but we have everything to do with young children. And the other reason is, I always find you walking on foot going to school. I always find children selling pancakes and fene and the rest of the merchandise, not only here in the villages or in the rural districts, but also in urban centers. And it reminds me that I did the same thing. And whenever I see children, I see you very hopeless. Not hopeless is not an abuse. You don't have hope. You see us in those big cars, and you can't imagine that you can still make it and drive the big cars.
Mr. Edema Wilson, the district sports officer who doubles as the inspector of schools, who represented the district education officer, said most parents tend to send their children to school with empty stomach, and this in most cases leads to the learners not concentrating in class. He therefore implored the parents to support their schools so as to help improve on the performance of their children.
It is the role of parents to make sure the school operates as expected. We don't want grade U's, grade 4 grades. We don't need these exams. We want children to pass well. But it is the parent who can support the head teacher and the teachers in that school.
Mrs. Chandia Benedict Kodili, an opinion leader and a former aspirant for Moyo Women Member of Parliament seat, urged the pupils to put more effort in their studies, saying that's the only way they can pay back their parents for supporting their education through good performance.
You can never do what? Repay your parents. The only payment you can give your parents is when you excel. The best reward you can give your parents is to succeed. When a parent sees a successful child, they will be happy. So I want to encourage you to please continue working hard and put God first in everything that you do, and respect your elders, respect your teachers, listen to your teachers. When you do all the right things, you're going to excel.
In Moyo district, a total of 1,579 pupils sat for last year's primary leaving examination, and out of which 791 pupils were girls and 788 were boys. In the result released a fortnight ago by Uganda National Examination Board UNEB, 45 pupils passed in first grade, 556 passed in second grade, 545 passed in third grade, and 223 passed in fourth grade, and 155 were in Division U. The district pass rate stands at 89.9% and leaving 10.1% failure rate, something which needs concerted effort from all the stakeholders in the district so as to improve the performance of the learners in the district. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumu for West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Welcome back, and moving on with the news bulletin. The Greater Nile Police is set to receive Uganda Police Force canines or senior sniper dogs to help in aiding police in forensic investigation due to their keen sense of smell that has aided in tracking down suspects as well as recovering hidden drugs and explosives, among others. In the three districts of Nebi, Zombo and Pakwach, there was lack of canine services for decades, but now there is hope as this service will be able to curb down crimes in the districts. Alfred Jawok has more details on the story.
The K9 unit has also been key in the wake of the recent terror and suicide attacks, and were also used in bomb scares after unknown items were dumped in some part of the country. In the three districts of Nebi, Zumbo and Pakwach, there was lack of K9 services for decades, but now there is a hope that these services will help to curb down crimes. Nebi District Police Commander, Senior Superintendent of Police, Amisi Kayondo, in an interview with the West Nile TV reporter this morning, noted that the K9 is instrumental in the fight against crime. He added that the whole of northern Uganda, Karuma to West Nile region, is in Arua only. According to Amisi, sometimes it will take 2 days for a dog to be transported over long distance, as by the time a dog arrived from Arua to Pakwach, the crime scene will have been compromised by human tampering, rain and other factors, making the dog's intervention less effective and at times ineffective. This made it a waste of resources, yet the investigators needed serious before beginning an investigation.
I want to inform the public that the Uganda Police has improved the services of investigations in the Western Nile, because the services of K9 have been introduced here by constructing the dog kennel. Anytime we are getting a dog, and the good news is that we might get 2 dogs at once, so that when we get these dogs are going to be very good in assisting police officers in carrying out special investigations. There are some crimes that really require to introduce this department. We thank IGP, we thank the government for this one. You know, the area has been big, we have been suffocating somehow. We have been having 1 dog from Pakwach to Koboko, but now when we get these 2 dogs from here in Nebi, it's going to be assisting us. 1, it will be near. 2, other districts which are neighboring Nebi are also going to be benefiting. So we just want to call upon the community, when you have a breakage into your house, when you have theft at home, you just come and record a statement. Very quickly, you go and introduce the dog, we shall get these thieves. We do all of this one in order to maintain security, to curb down crime, and to remove the perpetrators, the thieves. We take them to court, take them to prison where they're supposed to be, in order to keep the community safe and free out of crime.
For the dogs to be effective at a scene of crime, there must be a combination of factors in play, like human factors in early reporting, among others. The 2 dogs will serve Nebi, Zumbo and Pakwach respectively, as the K9 kennel is under construction at Nebi Central Police Station, but in the future, Police K9 unit plans to be in each of the policing districts. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Finally, moving away from the region to the national scene, the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, abbreviated as COSASE, has ordered for a forensic audit into the 500 million gorilla permit fraud that rocked the Uganda Wildlife Authority last year. The directive was issued by COSASE Chairman Medad Segona while meeting UO officials led by the Executive Director Sam Mwenda, who were responding to Auditor General's queries raised in the December 2023 Auditor General's report. The directive came on the backdrop of the Auditor General's revelation that had been barred by UA from accessing the chimpanzee and gorilla booking data during the audit process. And dear viewer, with that we come to the end of today's Nile Cast News Bulletin. Let us catch up again tomorrow on the Valentine edition. I wish you a very, very good evening.